Hello. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel for another Wednesday night live stream. My brain's a little discombobulated. I literally just with like 7 seconds left on my countdown was like, oh, my beverages. Running around doing all sorts of crazy stuff. It has been a week, y'all. It has been a week, let me tell you. But we are here. We have made it. Hallelujah. Thank the good Lord for that. And I'm excited to spend the next hour with you guys. So thank you so much for being here. Fun fact, this is in fact my last live stream for this stint in Florida. We are actually going home a week early, so we will be traveling this weekend. So if you are the praying kind of person, send some prayers up for our safety and ease in travel and all of that. It will be a long journey, but then we will be home. We will be home. So let's see who all is here. Andy is coming in clutch with the first comment of the day. Hello, Andy. And Michelle, Lauren, Brianna, and friends. I love that. It sounds like a TV show. Donna, hello. And Lori, I love that everybody's just greeting everybody else. Lissa's here, Kathy's here. Linda, hello. It is good to see you. Oh my goodness, my friends. So, the agenda for this evening, I want to tell y'all a little bit about how I am leveling up, so to speak, in the Lord willing and the creek don't rise starting next week, which I'm very excited about. And then to boot, we're going to have a little Q&A session. I had a couple of really good ones come in on the religious front. I was like, ooh, okay, we're doing Christian Q&A. Obviously, that's not entirely what this is, but I welcome any opportunity I can to answer questions like that as well. So start the gears a turning now, what you guys want to chat with me about, because I'm here for it. I did not pre-program them. I was too busy doing dinner and all of those other things. We had ahi tuna tonight from Trader Joe's that has been sitting in the freezer here, pretty sure for about a year. And guess what? It still turned out just fine. We didn't do what we really wanted to do, and I will get into more why with the lows of the highs and lows segment. So let's actually go right ahead and dive into that so we can get the conversation started. So first, community, family, I would love to hear from you. This is the part of the live stream where we as a community get to share our wins and our highlights of the week, our lows. If you feel so inclined to share, you don't have to share, but we love to be able to support you in your lows and your struggles. And then additionally, if you have any wellness wins that you would like to share with us, fantastic. And what you are currently working on in this moment. So your highs, your lows, your wellness wins, and you're working on it. I would love to hear as much as you are willing to share. Hello, we've got some other friends showing up. Hello, Grace. Hello, Julie. Hello, Sandy. It is good to see all of you. Thank you for being here. My high. What is my high, y'all? What is my high? Well, let's start with the low, and that'll kind of give you a more of a reason as to why the high has not really been highing this week. My darling, lovely, wonderful husband has on and off like pretty severe acid reflux issues, right? And he, long story short, was on a prescription med for it for a long time. And we learned recently that he was not supposed to be on it for a long time. Like, you're not supposed to take this med long term, right? So he got off of it, and things that were causing problems, foods that were making his stomach feel upset or whatever, were better. They were solving themselves. Great. And then on our way down here, he started getting upset stomachs again. And like blaming the like acid reflux, the whole 9 yards. So we started having a problem on our way down, and then it evened out. And then last week, beginning of last week, he started to have problems again. And then by Thursday, he felt terrible and was throwing up. Cool. And so we had like 2.5, 3 days of anti-nausea medications. His dad brought an IV home, like, oh, didn't have to use it, but like the whole 9 yards. And we think it was a stomach bug on top of whatever the heck is happening. So now we are just back to what is this stuff that's kind of making him feel not so great? And does he take pills for it? Does it not? What foods trigger it? What doesn't? And my love also gets into his head about things. So now every time his stomach does something, I think he perceives it as a symptom. And so long story short, are we gonna have to change diet? Is that what is the problem? So we're going home a week early so he can get into the doctor, to, like, start the process, you know? Is it an we've run through literally every single possibility of could it be this? Could it be this? And dietarily, is it dairy? Is it gluten? Is it like, FODMAP? Is it acid? Is it what? We don't know. We don't know. So I'm sitting here kind of mulling over him, like, trying to make sure that he has food that he can eat, but we can't really pinpoint specific foods that trigger him and make him feel good and make him don't. Andy, I love that you said that. Somebody else in the community suggested that to me. A friend of mine suggested that to me earlier or later last week when we started having problems, and I picked up some Gaviscon. So we do have that. So it's just been, oh, hello, Gracie girl. It has been a week. It has been a week, my friends. So that was the low. That was the low. And dealing with all of that, like, where's the high and where's the highlight? I mean, things things rectified themselves a little bit, but not really. Like, the stomach bug part is over and we didn't catch it. I thought for sure I was going to get it. So we didn't. So that's good news, right? That's good news. Praise for that. Awesome. But now we're embarking on a whole new journey. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of food I make in the future, right? So there's that. There's that. My wellness win. I guess my high can actually be my wellness win. And it kind of ties into the I'm challenging myself thing. One of the things that I'm trying to do is to walk for 45 minutes every single day in an effort to get my energy up, my stamina up, training for adventures that are coming, all of that. And I have done it every day since Sunday, I think. Yeah, I think I've done it every day since Sunday. So it's what, 4 days now in a row. And the way I'm going to do it in the future is it's going to be something that resembles walking. So it can be walking outside because walking is, once depending on the temperatures. Right now, today, it's like 50 degrees in my hometown in Minnesota. And by the time we get back, it's going to be back in the 30s. I was like, of course, of course. Also, taking bets on how long until it snows after we get back, by the way. Um, so when I can, walking outside would be great, would be advisable, but also elliptical will count. And if we get our hands on a treadmill, that will count as well. So anything that gets me steps in any form, walking for 45 minutes daily is going to be the goal. And because there's a treadmill upstairs here, I've been pushing myself. I usually do about half an hour and I've been doing 45 minutes and I've been feeling so good about it. It is a completely re-energizing experience. So that is definitely my wellness win slash maybe even my high for the week is the way that I've been showing up for myself in that regard. And my working on it, well, we will just talk about that in a second because that's kind of the, topic of the evening, so to speak. Let's see. Low as I lost my appetite. High, bound to lose weight. That's silver lining, I suppose, Andy. Yes. And I'm wondering if that plays a part. I'm wondering if that also plays a part. So I don't know. Reminds me of what my sister's been going through for years. She's had issues with her stomach. and her doctors are just baffled. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna find. I have no idea. I'll start with wins today. I've been stretching my feet and legs like crazy, and I'm normally horrible about stretching, and my jeans are starting to feel uncomfortably loose. Well, that's amazing because like 2 weeks ago, you were complaining about how they were tight. So, that's great news. See the activity level, and I know that like there are you're not thrilled about how you have to get your activity, but the fact that you're increasing your activity and the problems you were having just reversed themselves. Like, hey, okay, here for it. My doctor in pharm said, "So Gaviscon." Yeah, okay. Everyone's saying Gaviscon. I was on double strength Prevacid twice daily for years, got off of it after losing 50 pounds. Reflexes back due to a 10-pound weight gain. And yeah, and here's the thing, like the line of like, because like the first piece of advice is lose weight. My husband does not need to lose weight at all. He does not need to lose weight. He's not stick skinny, but I don't want my men skinny. Like he's muscular and he's lean, all things considered. Like there's no weight to lose. So, um, so that ain't it. Quit smoking. That ain't it either, you know? And like, and it's like limit alcohol. So he confessed to me he is a bigger man than me. He's like, if I have to give up coffee and carbonated beverages in order to, and I can have a beer once in a while, like I will do it. And he is like ready, willing, and able to just give up the morning coffee. And I was like, I would do that kicking and screaming, like actually kicking and screaming if I had to give up my morning coffee. So more power to you. And this is why I'm convinced my husband, while a questioner, leans very much in the upholder territory as it comes to holding himself to things and accountability and whatnot. If he has a, well, and that's also very questioner though. Now I'm thinking about it. He has a really good reason to give up coffee. Therefore, he will give up coffee very easily. Um, yeah. Small group started back up yesterday, and I haven't been taking painkillers at work the last couple days. See, I told you you'd get used to it. You just needed to get through that slump. As with anything, especially when you go from more sedentary to a lot really fast. Your butt like your body will catch up. It just takes a while. And then it goes, "Oh, I guess I better adapt. Okay, let's do this thing." And it does. I got a great observation report from my newest vice principal. Low, it seems that the entire oh no. Oh, no. I cannot even imagine. I can't even imagine. Working on work, family, self-care balance. The win is getting started with a new daily habit of outdoor walking with indoor walking as an alternative if the weather is bad. I love that for you, Grace. I love all of that. Um, the jeans that were too tight are still too small. Oh, fair enough. Great win and a great high. Yes, for sure. Sandy says hi as I've been walking on my treadmill. I love that. I love that. I love when we get our movement in. Low as I've been having migraines again for some reason. Oh no, that's never good. And I like it's the for some reason, right? It's the for some reason, which is exactly the problem that we're having in my family as well. It's like what what's the reason? Like, if we had a reason, we'd be able to figure it out. But in researching, y'all, I'm doing my best to research all of the things, but it literally is like it could be anything. Anything. So it's like I even looked at my husband yesterday, today. I'm like, babe, I'm out of suggestions. I am out of suggestions. So I'm grateful that we will have a medical professional on it ASAP, which is great. Because for some reason is the worst, right? When you don't know how to fix the thing. Lows, I couldn't eat dinner because I was feeling kind of blah. The only thing I could stomach was Lucky Charms. Hey, you ate something, and that's great. I love that. Spending tomorrow tuning my compound bow to reduce the poundage on the string. Nice. Very nice. I'm still in a ton of pain. I've been pushing through the pain without taking anything, but Advil doesn't touch the pain. Interesting, because Advil is like my go-to. Like for me, Tylenol touches nothing. I don't, it's one of those things that's not even worth taking for me. Low was gaining the weight back that I lost this week. High is getting in lots of walking throughout my week to strength training 3 times a week. I love that you're strength training. I love that you're walking. Don't worry about the weight. Weight fluctuates. And I'm going to remind you all. Oh, hello, Mrs. Taterhead. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you. Hi. Um, so don't worry about the weight. I know we tie so much like pun not intended, but also intended, we put too much weight on the scale. We put too much weight on the scale when we know that ebb and flow, we will fluctuate. Y'all, this is probably 3 pounds of liquid. And this is like not even half of what I've consumed today, you know? Our weight is as easy to manipulate as taking a couple sips of water. So I need you to remember that because the number on the scale is always going to be fickle. It's always going to change and it's never going to remain stagnant. It's never going to remain stagnant. Odds are if you are eating within your body's caloric range, that weight gain that you lost is not fat. It's not. It's not. Alternatively, the weight that you lost the week before could also not be fat. It could be water weight. There's a whole host of things. There's a whole host of things that it could be. And so I would encourage you, Linda, and everybody else as well, make sure you have other metrics that you can track to eliminate highs and lows being tied to the scale. Because we don't want to have the scale dictate our mood, dictate our value, dictate any way that we feel about ourselves. It's not like if you step on the scale and you go, oh, I'm up 1.5 pounds, everybody should hate me, everyone should look down on me, my self-confidence is trash. No, the scale should not have that power. And I know that was a very extreme sounding example, but subconsciously, that's exactly what we do to ourselves. Ugh, that's the low point of my week is I gained weight. That's okay. And it needs to be normalized and it needs to be okay for the scale to fluctuate because guess what? Okay or not, it's gonna fluctuate. That's just part of the deal. That's how it goes. So I would encourage you to take photos, take measurements, and track those. Maybe measurements once a week, maybe once every other week. But also give yourself credit where credit is due if you showed up for yourself this week. You should be like, you know what? My high is that I tracked my food, if you are a tracker, every single day and stayed within my plan. My high is that I did, like you said, your high is getting in lots of walking and strength training. That's the kind of stuff. That's the stuff. Celebrate the stuff that you can control. Because otherwise, we're going to be in a really, really losing battle, quite frankly, a losing battle. My high is I'm not having severe sciatica pain. Lead to the low, my leg goes numb and gets numb and tingly after sitting. Oh my goodness, Lori. Oh my goodness. I got to show y'all. I don't have a link for you because I'm not that fast. But everyone's talking about like the pain in their feet and their whatever. I got a new toy. I figured out my high. I got a massage this week. That was my high because it was a dang good massage. The person who comes here and massages my mother-in-law every week is incredible. And my mom, because I was having severe foot pain, it was like a nerve triggered in my foot. And it was February 1st, right? It was February 1st. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. February 1st. And I'm like, all right, 10,000 step goal every day. Let's go. And literally just walking to the bathroom, I took one step and like the nerve in my foot was like, no. And it was bad. Like my husband went and got the ankle brace. Bad. And I didn't know what the problem was. And so I asked my mother-in-law, hey, can you tell your masseuse to bring the cups? And I just want to see if I can work out the whatever is happening around my ankle. And she's like, I'll get you an hour massage. So I got an hour massage, which was amazing. She used this on me. So she's working on my feet and she's like, do you mind if I scrape your muscle? And I go, whatever it'll take, whatever you do, whatever you think will get rid of the pain in my foot. And she found, keep in mind, I have a nerve disease and my feeling in my extremities is not all that great. She found a knot in the arch of my foot. And she was like, you feel that? You feel that? And it didn't hurt, but it was very clearly there. And she goes, that I think is what's causing your nerve pain. So she grabbed this thing to scrape my muscle and literally took it and did this. But like with a lot more force, right? And literally like ironed out the muscle. And why do you ask, do I have one of these now? It worked so well that I immediately was like, give me the link to this scraper. And it was $13. Only $13. I immediately ordered it and it came in this cute little carrying case too. I will have to find the link for you guys because it's spectacular. And I actually have been doing every once in a while, like the muscles in my legs that are all like crinkly and bunchy, and or the bottom of my feet when my pain started to flare up again. And so I was thinking of you guys, like foot pain and sciatica pain, like the scraping. It's not like, oh, let me get a nice massage on my feet. No, it's not like that. Like it's pretty vicious, but it works really well. And for $13, I can now do it myself or have my husband do it for me. And I think that's great. So you gotta get you a muscle scraper, my friends. Nothing touches this pain. Stretching on my break seems to be the best thing, and I've been using my heel seats, which helps. Yes, and I'm still experimenting with tools. Yeah, and it could be worth it to also experiment with like foot orthotics. Have you considered getting like a Dr. Scholl's type insert? Oh, look, conveniently, because I keep them in my braces because they have actually helped me a ton with my braces. For those of you that don't know, meet my braces. These are my legs, as I affectionately call them. They're AFOs. But because they are custom, you can't see that, a custom fit to my foot, my arch actually has a really hard time with pain if I wear them for too long. So simple $12 Dr. Scholl's things put in my braces helped me a ton. Like night and day difference with my feet's stamina in my most helpful but also most painful pair of shoes. So worth looking into as you keep experimenting with things to help you. I had some Costco chicken nuggets and veggies for dinner, but I just couldn't do it. I made grams with cheese and crackers. Yeah, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I've been bringing my loopy stretch band with me to work so I can just stretch out my legs on my break. And I love that. I love that's a great thing to do. And here's the thing, if that's helping you, that can kind of be a tell as to other methods you can take to help you. If stretching is helping you, maybe not just like doing the I'm pulling on it because in my brain I can see the picture you sent in the Discord channel. But the hamstring stretch, but like maybe it means you got to do a little bit of downward dogging and a little bit of yoga and a little bit more intense all over creation. Maybe it means that something like good old buddy muscle scraper here would actually be super helpful for you on your feet and on your calf and shin muscles to loosen everything else up on a deeper level. Disclaimer, I am not a medical professional in any sort of way, so take my tips and tricks as just that, tips and tricks and not medical advice. But because the fact that stretching helps you says that it is muscle tightness that is causing most of your issues. So work on that, play with that. Muscle scrapers on Amazon are 20-ish pounds. Well, and I don't know which one you're looking at, but I can tell you, I can show you mine. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I just got to go to my search history. Hang on. But we're going to look. It was here in like a day and a half, and it was $13, and it was the exact one. The masseuse sent my mother-in-law the link to the one that she purchased and used on my body, and it was glorious. Come on, link creator. Really? Why you gotta be like this now? Unbelievable. Hang on. I cannot multitask, evidently. I can't like type and talk, or at least type and entertain at the same time. You know what I mean? All right. Link is coming at you in the chat. Here it comes. Here it comes. Da 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 da. There it goes, my friends. And the current list price is $12.99. And it's like the person makes it look really flimsy, like, oh, look at me hold it with my fingertippies. This thing is heavy. This is like, she's got weight to her. So it's not like a stingy thing. Like it is a solid piece of stainless steel. So if you're interested, it is a great tool that I've already been loving, and I've only had it for like 4 days. Trying to avoid orthotics because avoiding arch support has helped my feet get stronger, but I did get these heel seats to add a bit of cushioning to my heel. Yeah, and pick and choose. And here's the thing, and this is what I was trying to explain to my husband with like food choices and his problems too. Just because you get foot orthotics to wear to work doesn't mean you got to wear them all the time. Moderation is key. If you find that a pair of cushiony shoes with some foot orthotics is the way to get you through work without pain, wear them to work. Wear them to work. You don't have to wear them any other time. But if you find the solution that works for you for that specific instance, you can take them off as soon as you get in the car and put your bare feet shoes back on. Not a problem. But the goal is not to struggle through for the sake of whatever it is. But instead, find what works for that situation. It's like me. I don't want to, I avoid wearing my braces all of the time because it has actually been shown that wearing leg braces can, in fact, atrophy some of your muscles because you're not using them anymore. The braces are using the muscles for you. And while some of the muscles that I'm striving to use, or not use, or solving for, right, don't actually work, there are some that do. There are some that I felt like actually felt like my calf muscles got weaker the more I depended on the braces. Does that mean I stopped wearing the braces? No, I wear them in very specific instances. I wear them when I'm walking on outside, when I'm walking on a treadmill, or when I am doing distances of any kind, errands, things like that, because I'm quicker and it saves me energy. But that's it. I don't wear them in the house. I don't wear them when I'm just going to church or need to go and do a bunch of stairs or anything of that nature, you know? And so it's a 50-50. I don't wear them all the time, but I wear them when I need them because it's important to wear things you need when they're needed, you know? Um well, I don't know what to tell you. It's more expensive in the UK, I guess. Orthotics weaken my ankles. Exactly. If you wear the same thing too much, you grow dependent, right? So again, switch things out. Switch things out. Do you like to travel? If so, where's your favorite place to go? So, Trevor, I love that you're back. Thank you for being here. You ask great questions. Um, the act of packing and getting from point A to point B, if that is the definition of travel, I hate traveling. Hate it. Hate it. We're packing to go home, and I'm like, I don't want to pack. I don't want to take the 3-day drive. Am I very excited to get to my destination? Yes. But when teleportation starts happening, girlfriend's going to be first in line. I'm going to be first in line to be like, you know what? I can teleport to my in-laws house in Florida to get out of the winter and do whatever, but then I can teleport home and go sleep in my own bed. Yes, please. And thank you. However, I always, especially after the fact, I always enjoy the experience that I have had, right? For example, we spent 10 weeks living in Japan. In the moment, it was stressful, it was crazy, it was hard. We didn't speak the language. He went to business school all day, so I was kind of on my own to explore this little suburb of Tokyo, whatever. And I so, like, in the moment, I was kind of a little bit, like, bitter and grumpy about it. Years later, I so appreciated the experience that I had, and I'm like, "Oh, these things remind me of Japan. Oh, I wanna go back to Japan. Oh, cherry blossoms." Like, I have a newfound appreciation for flowers on trees like y'all wouldn't believe because I experienced the cherry blossoms in Japan. And all of these things. Like, so the act of getting from point A to point B, can't stand it, don't want to do it ever. It doesn't matter how exciting the trip is. But experiencing the things, trying new foods, going to new places, yes, in general, I do like that. I'm just somebody who gets uneasy about, is it handicap accessible? Am I going to have the stamina? Hence why I'm training for vacations and stuff happening this year, because literally I'm afraid of not having the stamina to keep up with all of the fun stuff that we're going to do. And that's a me problem, you know? And there is a line. There is a line of like we were talking through our upcoming trip to with my in-laws, and they both looked at my husband and they're like, "You need to give her a day off or she's gonna die. Like he's trying to kill you." I'm like, "Yes, I know he's trying to kill me." Because the people in this family don't know how to slow down. They're either going or they're sleeping, and there's no in between. So it's more of a it's like there's moderation, yes, but it's also a me problem, and like my anxiety lets me hate the traveling aspect of traveling, you know? Um, my favorite place to go, I mean, hon honestly, my favorite place to go because it feels safe to me and it feels like homey and like easy to access home is here because I can travel to like Disney World and I can go to Disney World or Universal Studios. I love like theme park, like one day type situations. And I love cruises. I love cruises because it's kind of like having a home base at the end of the night. Like you can go out, you can go explore whatever port you're in, but then you get to sleep in your own bed, so to speak. You know what I mean? They have this fascia bar that applies targeted acupressure to the base of the heel bone where it meets the fascial ligament. Ooh, interesting. Helping to relieve pain and reduce foot inflammation. Hey, that sounds good. Uh, you usually need to work up to it. Yes, that's a good point. When you start wearing orthotics, don't wear it's the same with contact lenses or hard contact lenses. You got to start small. So wear them for like an hour and then 2 hours and then 4 hours and gradually over time build up because your body needs time to adjust to the thing. Does your husband like to give you massages? Yeah, I think he does. He does it more out of love for me because he knows that I need them. And like cuz my muscles get really tight and I don't have the strength to kind of release the muscles myself. And we're talking about I felt so much better after my massage last week that he looked at me and he goes, "Look, I'm not the best at just doing things because it's what I'm supposed to be doing. But if you need me a couple nights a week, because we're talking about like using the tools, right? Using the tools on me and like doing passive stretching and like actual like massage where it's necessary, where it's not it's like, oh, how romantic. He's rubbing your shoulders and giving you a massage, but like actual therapeutic massage. He goes, if you tell me that's what you need, I will make time to do it for you. And so when we get home, we're going to actually try and get into a routine of like maybe 2 or 3 nights a week. I work out later in the day. So when he's done with work, he can get ready to work out. And before he works out, I'm finished and he can stretch me and do all of the other things that typically I would need the aid of a physical therapist or somebody to do because it's something that I can't do as effectively myself. I was in a lot more pain when I wore orthotics, so I'm exploring options. And it's not just like any old orthotics. You got to find what works for you. You got to find what works. Not all orthotics are created equal. Teleportation is not something I try since watching The Fly. That's fair. I've never watched The Fly, but like, how much easier would life be if I could just boop, there I go, and I'm in the place that I need to be? No packing. I can go home if I want to. Easy peasy. Like, sounds great, doesn't it? And I'm exploring other stretches. I just don't have any space where you could. Girlfriend, I do a lot of stretching just on my bed and on the side of my bed. You can make it happen. You absolutely can. You can't wait for perfect opportunities, perfect situations, perfect amount of space. If it's a priority, you will find a way to make it happen. You can do cat cows and all sorts of like floor stretches. You can do them on your bed. You can do them on your bed. I do hip flexor stretches with my leg off of the bed. So, like for example, there's conveniently a bed right here. So let's just use that as an example. I will lay on the edge of the bed as close to the edge as I possibly can. And then my leg, if this is my leg, I will put my one leg off the bed and I will push it down and that will stretch my hip flexor. I'm literally laying on the bed to do one of my favorite hip flexor stretches. And then I just flip my body. And so the other leg can dangle off. And I will use that to stretch my other hip flexor. You can definitely find a way. I permanently lost hair below the knee. My friend, I think my father has too. And I would really not care if I lost all of my hair below my knee because it would mean I didn't have to shave anymore. I welcome that change. Bring it on. Let's do it. I am so here for it. Why is the highs and lows thing still up? I don't even know. I'm going to put up the Q&A thing, but I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the ways that I am challenging myself. And I wrote it down in my journal. I might have to bust open my journal just so I don't forget. So for those of you that don't have it on your radar or whatever, the season of Lent is coming. It actually starts next Wednesday. On Valentine's Day. Stay tuned. There might be an afternoon live stream. I don't know that my husband and I are actually going to do anything exciting for Valentine's Day. So maybe I'll spend Valentine's Day evening with y'all. I don't know. But stay tuned. I might bump it to the afternoon just to have the evening free because even if we don't do anything exciting, it is Valentine's Day. But we have Lent coming. And Lent is a season leading up to Easter where we as Christians, and a reminder, I am a Christian, give something up as a sacrifice to acknowledge the sacrifice that God made for us in Jesus, right? So there's a whole slew of ways that people can do this. But this year I've decided I'm going to make it a little bit I'm going to make it challenging for myself, and I'm kind of throwing on a you guys get to know about it first because I'm not going to share about it until I'm, ways into it, but like my own version of like a 75 hard because I don't that like that's the title I'm going to use because that's what'll get the clicks. But like a 75 easy, I don't know. Showing up for myself day after day after day after day after day, no exceptions, right? But for Lent specifically, oh, here we go. This is perfect. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Trevor, for putting up the the question because now I can just leave it there. So for Lent, which starts on Wednesday and goes through Easter, which sidebar, Easter is not even in April this year. It's on March 31st. How crazy is that? Well, these are not my Lenten things. Here we go. Here we go. So the first thing is 45 minutes of walking, which I had already discussed in some way, shape, or form. I need to keep the legs active for 45 minutes. This is technically something that's falling more under the 75 hard umbrella. The 75 hard workouts is 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each. I'm not doing that, but I can commit to moving my body in a walking motion for 45 minutes for sure. So I'm throwing that on there as the physical element of like, can you show up and just move your body a little extra because A, you feel good, and B, you showed up for yourself. So there's that. Bible study first thing in the morning daily. And we already packed up my Bible studies. I actually got a Bible study from a new company that I have never purchased from before. It is a company called Well Watered Women. So it is a specifically women geared Bible study company. But their Bible study, I was going back and forth. I'm like, do I do She Reads Truth? Do I do Daily Grace Co? What do I do? Do I do one I already have? And I saw on their Instagram that their Bible study was abundant, and it's a study on the fruits of the Spirit, I believe, and that's what they're doing for Lent. Abundance. If y'all rewind back to the beginning of January, end of December, I have 2 words of the year. What are they? Audacity and abundance, y'all. And I was like, I felt like it was a sign. Like, this is literally your word of the year right here. So maybe that's the one you do. So every morning, first thing, before phone, before book, before I get involved in anything else, Bible study happens first. So Carmen pop on here. Hello, hello. Hi, Carmen. Good to see you. I'll get to your comment in a minute, but I saw your name and I was like, oh, hey. If you're the Carmen I'm thinking of from Healthy, because I don't actually know your last name. I mean, hey, Carmen, either way, but I just was curious if you are the one I'm thinking of. Phone detox. So this one's hard, but I need to take care of it. All right, Andy, thank you so much for being here. Phone detox. So it's really hard, and I'm really struggling with where are the boundaries. That is you. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Why won't my camera focus on me today? What is happening? What is going on? Oh, I know why. Hang on, y'all. I tried to, oop, that's why. There, now I will stop being out of focus. I keep looking down and being like, why am I blurry? Sorry about that. I was trying to get like the sides of everything out of the picture, but I guess you'll just have to deal with it for the sake of focus. So running a business with social media and stuff is really challenging when you want to like get rid of your phone. So this is actually going to be a very big practice in discipline because I need to just not be on social media, but I need to be on social media. So my goal is actually going to be to try and plan out content in advance and schedule some posts and maybe check in with like Instagram once a day to be able to answer comments and things like that. And I can actually answer comments and whatnot on my desktop and use my phone less. So we're going to be focusing on getting rid of the phone and doing less with the phone, and especially not doing social media nearly as much. I can't say I'm not ever going to do it because I need to like post reels and stuff like that and, run a business, but I'm going to do my best to take a step back from all of that. That was number 3. Number 4, I'm giving up the scale. I'm giving up the scale for Lent because I don't need it. I don't need it. I hop on the scale probably 4 or 5 times a week, just, just to check in. It's a piece of information I step on. I acknowledge the number I step off. No big deal. But I don't need that number. And there is still probably a part of me that's like, I can always check my weight on the scale. I can always just look. I can always check in. And I want to take away that dependence on the number on the scale, you know? So I'm just not weighing in for the duration of Lent. No distractions while eating. That's another thing I'm giving up, and that's a big one. That's a big one because no distractions, which you're not supposed to eat while distracted anyway, but let's face it, we all do it, right? We all do it. But eating with no distractions means not a phone, but also not an iPad when I'm sitting there by myself and need something to preoccupy my brain and turning on another episode of Friends, not a book. The only exception will be on the rare occasion, because this happens maybe once a week. If my husband sits down to dinner with me and we decide to watch an episode of something together, I will let the TV that is on the other side of the room that we see from the table, I will let that fly. But literally, I have nothing else. And I eat 85, 90% of my meals by myself. So no distractions. No distractions. It's just me and my little plate of food, and I can pick up the book, phone, tablet, whatever after I'm done. But I want to sit and exclusively acknowledge that I am eating food and focusing on that, because it'll be a big practice in the mindful side of eating and the gratitude side of eating. No distractions when eating. What my food thing, because I was saying I like having a food related thing for Lent. I've just always loved it. One dessert daily. One dessert. Why? Because I love my desserts, and I'm trying to balance the line between I'm not eliminating, because in intuitive eating, we're not doing that. We don't play that game anymore. But also, there needs to be something that feels sacrificial. And for me, letting go, not me eating crackers while I'm ooh, I called out a few of you with that one. Oh my goodness. And let's be clear, just because I'm doing these things doesn't mean that they have to be your things, y'all. This is what I'm doing for me and my personal and spiritual growth, okay? And for me, the dependence on like having to sit with myself and my food, and it will give me an opportunity to, pray, talk to God a little bit more, be grateful for what I have in front of me, mull things over in my head, maybe come up with some new ideas, but it will help me pay attention to what I'm eating, right? Because let's be honest, it's easy. It's easier to eat the crackers when you're watching me, right, Grace? It's a very easy to just, crackers are great, live stream is great, we're having a great time, but you're not necessarily being mindful of the taste, the texture, the mouth feel, how you're feeling on a hunger scale level, right? And I'm using you as an example. I don't mean to like throw you under the bus or anything, but since you just admitted to eating crackers, so that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to challenge myself with that. But so my food related thing is one dessert. It's not, you can't have desserts, Brianna, but it's not, you can't have a dessert every time you feel like it during the day. You get one, and you have to be intentional about what that one is. And you have to savor it and enjoy it and celebrate it. Oh, look who's visiting on this side. There she is. Oh my gosh, why can't I? There she is. My door is open because my husband's out of the house. Yes. So one dessert daily is my food related thing. And then this one is new. And I was inspired. By one of my girlfriends from Bible study, from small group. She and her best friend launched this podcast called Your Two Best Friends Podcast. And my friend from small group is named Danielle. And I don't think she watches my videos, so she's not even going to know that I'm telling you this, but it's her and her best friend talking about spiritual things and God things and whatever. And for a youngin', because she's like 10 plus years younger than me, 12 years maybe, like she's a baby compared to me. She and her friend, the first episode that they talked about, I'm only halfway through it. I was listening to it en route to Target the other day, and I was already convicted enough to be like, this is what I'm doing for Lent, is to give up shopping. Like to give up, and it's like a no buy, but like no buy with no exceptions, right? Unless it's something like if I'm out of all facial moisturizers, I'm gonna go to Target and get my CeraVe moisturizer. Like you need what you need, but in the duration of Lent, I do not need any new clothes. I do not need any new toys. I do not need any new makeup. I didn't like unless I run out of foundation, but whatever. Um, you know what I mean? Like I don't need to play. If I go get my eyebrows done at Ulta, I don't need to browse. I don't need anything. I have dip nail polish at home. I don't need to go looking for other nail accessories. I don't need anything. I don't need anything. And just the way that these two ladies spoke about consumption and how, when the thing that she noticed is when Christmas rolled around, she didn't know what to ask for Christmas because she buys what she wants when she wants it. And it helped her realize just how much she purchased and bought and consumed. And I literally was like, whoa, because I literally had that exact same problem in this past Christmas. I'm like, I literally don't know what to put on my list because I don't need anything because I buy things that I want when I want them. And so that's going to be my last thing is I'm giving up shopping. Nothing consumer good stuff. I don't need anything new. I don't need anything new. When I get home, I will have some unboxings because I've purchased some things that are hanging out in my PO box. So I have a couple of new things coming, but I'm not going to be making any purchases as of February 14th. And that one's going to be a challenge for me. It's going to be a challenge. I do no buy months all the time, but like for whatever reason, this feels a lot more high stakes, a lot more definitive, a lot more concrete, you know? So that's what I'm giving up for Lent. It's a lot or what I'm doing for Lent and I'm very excited about it. I love yoga, but I damaged knee pretty badly and cannot put pressure on it no matter what I use. It hurts too much even to kneel on the bed. Oh, that stinks. That stinks. Have you tried chair yoga? If yoga is something you're interested in, like there are legit workouts where you can just sit in a chair and they'll teach you how to stretch and do the things so you can actually take the pressure off your knees. See if I can make enough room to do something on your bed. Yeah, for sure. Not sure how to stretch while hanging off my bed. I mean, all of my body except my leg was on my bed. Everything else was secure on my bed. Oh, I skipped. There we go. The distractions with the eating while with eating things stung. The idea of being without distractions sound awful. Like I'd rather just not eat. And yeah, and that makes it a really solid reason to sit with it and be like, why? Why is this such a problem? Why am I so dependent on distractions? Why does my brain have to do this? And what is the worst thing that happens if you actually have to just sit and be? And like you can still think. You're allowed to think about things. You're allowed to, like I said, it's a great opportunity to spend some time praying or meditating or thinking of ideas or whatever the case may be, or just simply appreciating and experiencing your food, not me eating crackers. One of my Lenten sacrifices is to give up posting and commenting negatively on social media and replacing it with positivity. I love that. I think that should be everybody's thing. Forever and ever, amen. Not just for Lent, but literally for just the entirety of life. We don't need negative comments, It's a good sacrifice. I do chair yoga. Yeah, I'm here for the chair yoga. Try that and I slid right off the bed. Well, I don't know how to help you. I'm sure your husband will be glad that you're. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And there are. Oh, I forgot like my little asterisk. There are a couple of things that we, as a couple, are planning on buying, like some new luggage. We're considering getting a treadmill so I can continue my walking adventures even when the weather is crappy. So those purchases that my husband's also involved in, don't count. It's the me and the shirts at Target or oh, isn't this cute? Or oh, this is on sale, or oh, that's what I'm giving up. The me stuff. For Lent, I plan to give up finishing my husband's food that he leaves on his plate. I know that sounds gross that I do that. I mean, it's no different than moms doing it. Moms do it all the time, right? Why can't we do it with our husbands? If my husband leaves behind a really good bite of something, I'm going to take it, like of course. So that's a great thing because it is an opportunity to exercise self-control, which biblically is one of the fruits of the spirit. And that's why, full circle moment, the Bible study on fruits of the Spirit is the perfect Bible study to do during the season of Lent, because exercising, cultivating the fruits of the Spirit, which includes self control, is a great thing to embrace all year, yes, but especially when you are more biblically focused and things of that nature, you know? Um, Ooh, Lori's wanting suggestions on the chair yoga site, Carmen. After 40 days, it might become a habit. That's kind of what I'm hoping happens to me too. A lot of this stuff, like, I just want to keep going. I just want to keep going, you know? I do want to give good old Q&A time a try. We can keep talking about Lent if you guys want, but also if you have any questions of any nature, feel free to ask me, and I'm going to look on my little thing. I only got 2 last time I checked. Oh, I got a third one. Let's start with that one. What is your favorite place to eat out? So I'm really, really bad with superlatives. And my husband will tell you this and be like, yeah, you are. You're terrible. Because he's convinced, he goes, by definition, you can only have one favorite. And I was like, no, I will never have one favorite of anything. What is your favorite place to eat out? Well, it depends on the situation. My favorite pizza place to eat out is Lou Malnati's Pizzeria in Chicagoland area. Can't even get it in Minnesota, but it's my favorite pizza place. My favorite fast food place, I really love me some Chipotle. I love me some Chipotle. But there are so many places. We have a favorite sushi restaurant. We have a favorite fancy restaurant. We have, a favorite taco joint. It depends on what genre you're going for. We have a favorite sushi place. One of my new favorite restaurants is called Hawaii Poke Bowl. And it's like it's like a Chipotle, but for poke bowls. Genius. Love everything about it. But my favorite places are Lou Malnati's and what did I just say? Chipotle. Going to look up the Bible study. Yeah, Well-Watered Women is the name of the company. So there was that question. And then this one's deep, y'all. This one's deep. And it's what it says. This is what it says. How can we be sure if we are going to heaven someday? And that's the one I opened and I went, whoo, the deep stuff today. But it's actually not a long answer. And some people who are watching aren't going to like it. And that's okay. You don't have to like it. But know that in my life, this is true. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, so that whoever believed in him should not perish but have eternal life." Translation, believe in Jesus with your whole heart, get into heaven. The end. It's that simple. So how can you be sure? Have you accepted Jesus into your heart? If yes, you're golden. You're golden. If not so golden. That's is there a more nuanced way I could have said that? Yeah, probably. But it's 8:53. We're not here for nuance. We're here for answers, right? So, that's the truth. That's the truth. And as it pertains to all of the questions, well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? Only the Lord knows. And this is what I said. I'm like, oh, surrender your life to Jesus. That's deep. It's the truth. It's the truth. What can I say? It's the truth. For all of the questions, I always answer one day when I get up there, I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna take a look around and see who's there with me, and be like, oh, okay. All of the questions will be answered in a way that sometimes we just won't get those questions answered while we are on this earth. But I have every faith that I will be getting my questions answered one day. And for now, my job is to surrender my heart to Jesus, believe in him with all of my heart. And that's how I know. And it's that simple. It's that simple. And a follow-up question. I'm assuming these questions were sent by the same person. It's a what's it called? Anonymous link. So I don't actually know who sent me these questions. What is your life verse? Like the main Bible verse that guides your life, or more than one? So the one that I feel like it's so cliche to say this, but given the fact that I have a disability, I feel a specific pull to Philippians 4:13, which is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Because literally I don't have the strength to do it myself. So I kind of need to depend spiritually on Jesus. And then there's also another one, and it's going to sound terrible because I don't remember the exact verse. Oh, good heavens. Things are happening. I'm dropping things. That's where we're at with this evening, my friends. That's where we are at with this phrasing. When I get to heaven, I won't need to ask the questions. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Let me see. Where's my Bible app, y'all? I want to say it's like Matthew 6:24 is what I want to say it is. I could be wrong. But for whatever reason, let's see. Now I'm just curious. Bear with me, my friends, as I'm scrolling through my Bible app. Matthew 6. Oh, here's a good one. It's not the verse I was thinking of, but it's highlighted. So it's just a good one to remember. Matthew 6:14. For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. Anybody got a grudge that they need to work out in their heart? 22, 23. Oh, I was so close. I said 24 and it's verse 25. I was so close. I'm giving myself credit for that. Matthew 6:25. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothes? This bit, there's also another verse somewhere that's like, do not worry about anything, but in everything, come to the Lord in prayer and supplication. And I can't remember, that's like my other one, but this one specifically, um, like hello intuitive eating. And oh my gosh, my husband is on the live stream. Y'all, he made an appearance. That's hysterical. Hello, grandmother. I'm sorry I'm not there right now. So in terms of intuitive eating and being biblical, right? How perfect is that verse when you're struggling with diet, when you're struggling with body image, when you're struggling with all of that? Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life. First of all, pro tip, right? What you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothes? Y'all, anybody. Eric's getting all the love in the comments section. All the love. Yes. Is that not the most appropriate verse for the dieters and the past dieters and the dabbling in intuitive eaters and all of that? So good. It's so good. Scrolling back up. I don't have a ton of social media on my phone, but at work, breaks are my only chance to check my phone, and I have to keep my phone to keep an eye on the time. Meredith, I missed what you posted, Carmen, for the the chair yoga. What are your favorite books of the Bible? Old and New Testaments. What are my favorite books of the Bible? So I love Philippians. It's just, to me, it's just such a happy, um, like hopeful. It's just such a hopeful, to me, book in the Bible. Whenever we're in like Corinthians or Philippians, I'm like, all right, I like this. I'm happy with this, right? The Gospels are obviously great because, story of Jesus. And then it's not my favorite yet, but I just purchased a Bible study on it, and I've heard talks about it and how awesome it is to apply to your life as a woman in the book of Esther. And so I'm very intrigued to get into Esther and see what sort of growth and lessons there are to be learned in a book like that. Because it's a pretty wild story. quite frankly. So I think those are really my favorites. Is there anything that I'm forgetting in terms of my favorites? Like what's not to love about the actual words of Jesus, right? Um, oh, 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 I haven't taken the deep dive on it. And given, well, now I'm sitting here going, crap, is his grandmother on here? Song of Solomon's pretty good, y'all. So if you want something a little spicy, Song of Solomon's pretty good. Not gonna lie to you. Um, so that's a great one. Psalms are always good, and Proverbs. If you need just some solid wisdom, go to Proverbs. Proverbs is in the Old Testament, and they're great. They're all great. There are some that I'm also like, I don't love it, but it's there. So I'm gonna listen to, I'm gonna, gonna learn it, but I don't love it. And then there are some that I just love. And like I said, it's like my happy place to be in them. Um, I have a list of my top favorite verses on the back of one of the books I had published on the Amazon store. I love that. Philippians 4:13 is your mantra. Carmen, I love that so much. I love that. I love that everyone's saying hi to my husband. That's hilarious. Um, here is Lissa's list in case you were curious. I feel like Philippians 4:6-8 is also really solid mention. Where is it? We've just turned into a whole Bible talk now, which is fine. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, that's the other verse I was looking for. I knew, see, Philippians is one of my faves, y'all. Philippians 4:6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." That's a good one. That's one that we need plastered on the wall, on the mirror, because hooey, that's a good one. It's one of my favorites too. He will cover you. I also like he will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. I'm not someone who's good with citing chapter and verse. I'm not good at it either. I just know a select few. And the greetings of Eric and grandmother are still going. I love it. If you haven't figured it out, my husband went to his grandmother's house because tomorrow we're going to a hockey game. And so we wanted to make sure he can see her before we leave. And so that's why he's over there. So they must have gotten talking about what I'm doing right now instead of being over there with them. Hence their appearance. And the one time I tried doing daily affirmations, saying random quotes, etc., it didn't work. But for some reason, Psalm 19:14 stuck. Then recite Bible verses to yourself. That's a great idea. Okay, if you want a distraction that is a fine distraction during this spiritual time of no distractions, read your Bible. There you go. I found you a loophole. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. My church spent 5 months in Esther last year. I love it. Song of Solomon, you mean? Yeah. You think? I'm in a Bible study on Zoom with 9 women. We did Esther last fall, and now we're doing the Women of God. I love that. I love that. Apparently, our church did a really great women's study, but it was on Thursday nights, and I regularly have commitments here on Thursday nights, which was a bummer. Each study has us going to Old and New Testament. I love it. I love it. Grace is trying to find an online Bible study. The book of Esther includes about the holiday of Purim. I have the pastry. Oh, Hamantashen. Yes, I remember you making a whole bunch of those. Yes, 100%. That's what the Spirit led this group tonight. I love it. I love it. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is loving, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Literally what you should do in your non-distracted time, y'all. What you should do in your non-distracted time. Y'all, what a great way to end the conversation, especially since the challenging myself big time stuff was Lent related anyway. I am always and will be unapologetic about my faith. And you can always expect it. I mean, it's literally called Diva and the Divine, right? And the divine has the dual meaning thing happening. So it's never an unexpected topic to arise here on my channel. And I am so grateful for you guys to be participating in that conversation with me. All right, Lori, thank you so much for being here. Have a great night. Carmen, it was so good to see you. It was so good to see you pop on here. Um, you're welcome anytime, my friend. You're welcome anytime. And as for the rest of you, y'all are welcome anytime. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to let y'all go. Take care. Love to you all. Stay tuned. I will figure out whether or not we're meeting Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon. If we meet Wednesday afternoon, it will be about 3 p.m. Central Time that we meet. Just in case I mean, also comment down below or send me a DM. Do y'all have Valentine's Day plans that you're not going to be around here to hang out with me for? That is actually that's actually I should probably just move it because everybody else or a lot of other people may or may not have plans. So there's that. Um in Judaism, we have a whole holiday based on the book of Esther. I feel like I need to like gear up on Esther real fast. Now I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued. I can't, and here's the thing that's killing me. I can't for the life of me remember why Esther is on my brain. I can't for the life of me remember why. But we were talking about Esther, or the content I was consuming was talking about Esther and what an amazing lesson in God-given femininity Esther is, and all of that. And I can't remember where I can't remember. But it's fine. I'm gonna learn about it and it's gonna be great. So thank you all for being here. I'll let y'all go. Love you all. Have a great night.